What is up, guys? My name's Simian. My name is Yen. I play The Sims. Did you see what I did there? Alright guys, in today's video we have a lot of speculation about a possible DLC that The Sims team ended up scrapping. Now again, this is all pure speculation and I would love to know your thoughts and opinions down below in the comments. But of course, I did a little bit of research and I wanted to share with you guys what could actually happen with The Sims 4 and the potential that it has. Again, I do want to say thank you guys all so much for the love and support you showed on my last video and moving forward. Now with that being said, we are going to dive deep into the very first topic, which is of course behind the Sims Summit. When they first announced Project Rene, and many Simmers took to Twitter when they saw a color wheel being in specific of something that we don't have in The Sims 4. Now we do know there was speculation about a color wheel coming soon to The Sims 4 when I did a video way back when, and we'll dive deep into that a little bit later due to an intern showing her project. Now of course, I do want to strongly emphasize that this is 100% speculation and I do have receipts to back up this theory, but again, I don't know 110% for sure. I feel like I have to say that over and over again, but we are going to dive deep into this. Now, I do want to have a huge shout out to KP Games, in which you can find the Twitter down below in the description box. Please go follow and show this creator some love, but we actually have a possible DLC that was supposed to be called The Sims 4 Fashion. Now, this idea was scrapped and unfortunately never taken place. We do see here the create a sim on the side, and you can see where they had an idea called creations, alterations, systems works just the same in, you know, certain modes, and clicking the mannequin, which is of course the create a sim, and exactly what they could do. Now again, the DLC was called Sims 4 Fashion, and it might have been either a game pack or an expansion pack, but as of right now that is completely unknown. All we know is that this idea has been completely scrapped, and it was from a website due to an intern actually putting this out. I do find this very interesting because the Sims 4 Fashion and the color wheel, we do know there was so many opportunities when originally the Sims 4 came out with a color slider, in which we'll get into in just a second, but a color wheel was something that the Sims 4 has been wanting for a very long time as far as the community. If you dive deep into it, it does show a lot of different options and it does make sense, the Sims 4 Fashion. And again, would you guys think that this could have been a possible game pack or DLC? I would love to know your opinions, but again, I was doing some research and the only thing that made me question something was, if you look really closely, it says by Jonah Hill, and that kind of threw me off because again, that's a celebrity's name and it's like, why would they use that as like a prototype example? But again, that's just my personal opinion. Now when I do click on the site, now it is nowhere to be found and I have to go back to ArtStation. Now the reason I'm bringing this website in particular is because ArtStation was recently what an intern named Jenny actually came out with, stating about a color wheel that could possibly have been something that the Sims 4's team was looking into. Now again, this intern actually got hired over a couple of months ago, and a lot of people did question whether or not we were actually going to get this in game. Now as you guys can see, they were comparing the Sims 3 color wheel and then the current state of the Sims 4, which is of course you selecting colors, and if you dive deep into it more, they were really going and diving deep into what exactly, you know, defines the Sims and creates the Sim, and just overall trying to nitpick and understand and see where the players are coming from when actually using not only color sliders but just create a Sim in general. Now as you keep scrolling down, you do end up seeing a little bit more of the, you know, user tests that they were doing. They were showing some examples of maybe even concept A or concept B, and they really were showing examples on the pros on which can be either or. So even for the pros on concept A, they were like fast selection is diverse range of colors, and the concept B, they were like able to pick more sophisticated colors in some range, you know, etc., brownish red or grayish red, and you can even change the RGB. Now again, I would have loved to see this actually come about when it came down to create a Sim, and I think it, to me personally, especially with skin tones, I think it would have made a huge difference, and not only just skin tone diversity but also occults. I think it would have been really cool to not just select one color but have some sort of variety with the hue that you can actually change. Now again, I would love to know your thoughts and opinions towards this, and again, this is not far at all from when the Sims team actually came out with these color sliders. Maybe this is what the Sims 4 team was actually working on but ended up settling on this color slider. Would love to know your thoughts and opinions, and it's not too far-fetched. This also got me thinking of regarding Project Rene, because we do know Project Rene had introduced some color wheels and a lot of Simmers did take to Twitter to announce their excitement, because color wheels is something that the Sims community has been wanting for a long time, and it's really interesting to see if Project Rene goes through with color wheels. And again, it's supposed to coexist alongside The Sims 4. Will we eventually get that as well? They did say The Sims 4 has many more years to come and that it's not going anywhere, so there's a complete possibility that that is true. Me personally, in my personal opinion, I feel like if they did eventually do color wheels, I feel like again, it was a missed opportunity with a bunch of other packs that could have already came out. In particular, the Sims Get Famous. With it being all about glitz and glamour and high profile, you would think that that would be a perfect opportunity to announce that in base game and then afterwards follow through. Another pack in particular, and not just Get Famous, is the Moschino Stuff Pack. Now, of course, we do know the Moschino Stuff Pack was a collab, but also it was, surrounded by fashion and, high profile, clothing and just overall, bigger brands, and it's supposed to give that luxury, style. And I felt like this was a perfect opportunity to announce color wheels in the game. Again, I would love to know your thoughts and opinions, but we're going to get into a little bit more speculation, which is Rachel Franklin, who actually took over Ryan's position and is now the new EA executive. Now, this is a big deal because Rachel Franklin was actually a part of the Maxis and Sims 4 team when it came down to The Sims, and she was actually one of the ones who did a presentation on one of the very first presentations of The Sims when it first came out. Now, Rachel Franklin does have some mixed controversies because a lot of people are stating, since she already worked on the team, we need someone new and that we want something better. But people are also stating maybe we'll go back to the original Sims 4 when they first came out with city living and get together and have a little bit more nitty-gritty detail. Now, Rachel Franklin has been very, 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 expressive towards wanting EA to be better, as well as excited about joining the Maxis team again. Now, they did introduce this whole situation where they called EA Positive Play, where they were inviting more users to basically announce their opinions or concerns regarding an EA game. Now, hence The Sims is part of an EA game. Now, this did have me in a little bit more of question when I did see that James Turner sat down with Lindsay Pearson and asked why there were so many small lots and so many small things in the game when they have so many opportunities to do more. And Lindsay Pearson said, our engine basically is just not strong enough. So again, that does have me in question, and I'm going to get into my opinions a little bit more towards the end, but I did want to continue on to say there was an intern that actually got hired over in Woodwood City, where she was basically an experienced design intern. And of course, she got hired in June, which is of course when they announced the rebrand. I thought that was very, 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 very interesting. And then KP Games actually came out saying they changed the post. So I'm gonna get into this just a little bit for those who did miss that era of when I was posting. And originally it was supposed to be redesign managed world screens and flows of the Sims 4 game to improve player experience and lead and brainstorm workshops considering 7 different playstyles. But now if you look at the new design interns, what they're actually supposed to do in the job description, it's completely 360, and it no longer has the managed world. It no longer has the 7 different play styles. Again, the Sims, community, we see things, we get an inch and we take a mile because we really try to dive deep into what the Sims future is going to be. We always like to be one step ahead because sometimes when we get the surprise, we also get disappointed. And again, I do understand the Sims community in that because I myself am a big person where I have low expectations with the Sims. I no longer get surprised at anything that they do because again, anything after like Get Together, to me personally, started to go a little bit downhill, and we do see a lot of people coming in and out of EA. Now, with that being said, and in correlation of what I mentioned, I would love to know your thoughts and opinions, but again, I'm going to get into mine right now. So overall, I genuinely feel that with the possibility of an X DLC, or I don't know if they're just waiting on it to come out in the future, because again, they did do that with, horses was found in the code of, Tartosa. So imagine like My Wedding Story was supposed to have horses, but didn't end up happening because again, it was just a little bit too intricate. Then they made it into a horse ranch expansion pack, and then it made it into a complete DLC because probably how long it took to mechanic the horses in game. Now, I do feel like color wheels is a really big thing when it comes down to The Sims, because to me it does seem, especially from the outside looking in, that the Sims team tends to, you know, if they can't get something in the first initial like add-on, they'll end up making it a separate DLC. So I would love to know your thoughts and opinions on what you guys think about all of this. Again, this is all pure speculation and we don't know 100% and 10% if this is true, but again, all the websites added up and everything matched. So again, it's all in the air. Now again, just to sum up everything, because you're probably having questions on why I'm even bringing up Rachel Franklin or the interns or anything in general, I just wanted to say that again, Rachel has expressed over and over how excited she is to join back in Maxis, and that how she wants to basically move Maxis forward and also put EA in a better position, especially with The Sims, because she used to work on this as well. So again, this has me wondering if this had to do with, you know, a possible idea that she had, or, you know, an intern that she had, and then she was like, you know what, let's go for it, but then it just didn't make the mark. It just missed maybe, you know, a deadline, and then they decided to go with something else. Would love to know your thoughts and opinions. And with that all being said, we are on the road to 30K, and whether you like my videos, which truly does help my channel, you comment down below, you share my videos, or you're a silent viewer in some shape, way, or form, you have still supported my channel, and for that I thank you. With that all being said, I will see you guys all in the next video. Bye!